G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing as the Malians in the colour yellow. It is not barcode, ladies and gentlemen, no. This is the Mister. And in the north of the map, also playing as the Malians in the colour blue, we have got the one and only Wallalol God himself, Salami. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are here on Dry Arabia witnessing a Malian mirror. And you might be thinking, a Malian mirror? What the hell is that all about? Well, let me tell you something. I don't know if it's just me, but I've been feeling it, a little bit of a shift in the way the meta is moving at the moment. And it's all because of one guy. It's the guy that we've been casting all throughout this week. It is Salami, who has been driving this shift. He's been sticking with this fast castle strategy that we've been seeing coming out from him non-stop. He's been taking it up against top-level players, and he's been doing incredibly well with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else it is that he's going to be pulling out today, and whether we look to see that, whether we look to see it mirror it up, whether Mr. looks to do the same thing. Of course, Mr., a little bit of a strategist himself. Keep in mind, at the Red Bull Wallalol, he was the only player with 10 out of 10 strategy. So that means that if he's got anything to say about it, he should have a response here. But before we get any further into it, a quick little message about the Patreon. Are you keen to get better at Age of Empires 4? Are you interested in watching someone else get coached or getting some one-on-one coaching for yourself? If so, check out the Patreon, where you can find dozens of coaching videos where I personally guide players through the process of improvement, with new videos being added every single week. With coaching for all skill levels and for all civilizations, there's something for everyone. Now, when it comes to my credentials, while I might not be the Red Bull Wallalol champion, I'm still a pretty decent skill level, sitting at the Conqueror 3 ranking for 1v1. So if you are interested in some coaching, make sure you check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description. Now let's get back to the action. Alright, so the opening, pretty standard at the moment coming out for the Mister, going for the 6th house opening, and I feel like this is probably the best opening that you can do. It's a good compromise between focusing heavily on the economy, but at the same time getting up pretty quickly. You're going to have a little bit of a surplus of gold, and that kind of gives you flexibility in the way that you allocate your villagers. You can move them over to wood a little bit sooner, and it means you only chop one straggler tree and you do it all the way through. You've also got space if you do want to add in that mining camp. Of course, if you add in the mining camp early, it's 50 wood that you're going to need to chop compared to only 25 wood. We take a look over at Salami, and he's going to be doing the same thing. So both players opting for the same opening here, and I think this makes a lot of sense. But Salami, I wasn't sure if this house actually connected, but it looks like it does connect. And both players being very passive with their scouting at the early stages, both respecting each other's sides of the map. We can see the Mister on the south side now, just kind of looping around over to the west corner, whereas over on the north, Salami just looped over towards the east side. Now, I think another question is probably going to be with regard to trade. Do we dare see trade today? Now, when it comes to trade, of course, this is a beautiful trade post. Why is this a beautiful trade post? Because this is touching both sides of the map. So it means that whether you trade into that corner in the east or whether you trade into the corner in the west, you're going to be having a wonderful time. We do see that it looks like we're going to have the Manta Quarry coming out for the Mister. However, on that north side, look at this, Salami going to be going for the Saharan Trade Network once again. This is a landmark that he's used many a times and always uses it as a flex pick. Now, his trading post isn't as good as the Mister's. Obviously, you'd like it snuck right up against the edge of the map, but you can't always win everything. I guess that's probably the direction I wanted to go with that one. But look, this is absolutely fine. It's still going to be a pretty high quality trade coming out for Salami if he does opt for that. The only thing to note, though, is if he does go for the trade, now he knows where the trading post is. Ideally, you'd love to have this Saharan Trade Network right on the edge of the map so that you're doing corner-to-corner trade. You got your market here, but he might look for something a little bit different. Like he might look to put the market, say, here next to the sacred site, or maybe even here, and then use a wall to guide the traders. That's what I like to do if ever I go for something fancy like this. All you need to do is just put a wall in like that, and then that's going to guide the traders so that they hand in over here. We can see the mining camp coming in now. Salami with quite a few villagers here on wood at the moment, gathering up in the transition period. On the south side of the map, though, we'll ride on board with the Mister and see what he gets up to, though, because he's got the mill down already on the berry, so a bit of an early mill here, considering he's got plenty of sheep still underneath. Could be looking for a wheelbarrow, and indeed, it's going to be an early wheelbarrow. Now, one of the interesting things to note for Mister going wheelbarrow, does he get really much value out of it? It depends what his strategy is. If he's going for a fast castle, I feel like probably not. If he's going to be playing a bit more of a feudal age, then I think so. We'll see if he goes for the double broadaxe. One of the things I love to do as the Malians is open with the Manta Quarry, keep my Manticore on gold, and pick up all those upgrades. Your double broadaxe, your wheelbarrows, your horticultures, specialized pick. We can see him actually dropping down a pit mine shortly after aging up. Now, one of the things I was actually testing with, I'm curious as to when this is actually going to catch on in the meta. You can only make your pit mine once you've aged up. But before then, you can't make your pit mine. So my theory is, how about instead of making the pit mine during the transition period, you make all of your houses in the transition period around that new gold mine. And then as soon as you age up, bam, smack that pit mine down and it starts generating straight away for you. So I've been testing with that with the Malians. I've been enjoying that. It seems like you can actually get away with it pretty well, keeping about 3 or 4 vills on the landmark. So it doesn't really hurt you, doesn't really hamper you that much. We do see that double broadaxe is now coming in for him. Also looking to pick up specialized picks, so all of the upgrades coming through for the Mister at the moment. Right on board with Salami, and he's well and truly on his way to the castle age. Lots of sheep underneath the town center still. Handful of villagers over on the gold mine, and just a few villagers working the straggler trees at the moment. Salami going to be adding in a pit mine himself. Single villager heading out towards his position. Fortunately, not too many wolves nearby. They're looming. They're looking. Perhaps a wild boar might enter the picture, enter the fray potentially, but not yet. Not at this point. So Salami going for the big gold mine, and I do like this. This is quite a smart move. It forces your enemy to come over here, and it says, hey, you know, come and attack me over here, which is what you kind of want. You want them to be drawn out towards this because it gives you an opportunity to flank. Compare that down to the Mister, where he's going for a bit of a safer option that's behind his base. Salami had that same option as well. He's a bit more of a greedy option. It's a beautiful little position he's got up here towards the back of the base if he did want to play safe. Now we hear those scouts calling out, spotting out each other. At least I think he was spotting out each other. What was he spotting out? Where are the scouts? Did he lose a scout? I think we must, yeah, we've lost a scout, 90. I think a scout's gone down somewhere over here. The body of which we will not find. It has gone down. But it looks like Mr. just going to be playing into a little bit of a feudal age here. Which is kind of curious to me because I feel like the meta at the moment is definitely trending towards the castle age for the Malians. They get a huge bonus when they reach the castle age, similar to the Holy Roman Empire, in that they're able to begin mass production of units, and they're also able to do it cheaper through their Farimba garrison. And speaking of Farimba garrison, there it is, Farimba garrison coming down now for Salami, going up with 8 villagers on the garrison, so not a huge amount. Sometimes we do see that number bordering on double digits, even crossing that threshold. Sometimes hitting that 12, 15 villager mark I've seen him go for. We do see a cattle ranch coming in for the Mister at the moment. A little bit of a curious opening here, always a little bit slower. But I'm curious how he responds by the same token to Salami, because we've seen that the scout got taken out quite early for him, so he's not going to know about this age up coming through. At the moment, rallied towards the outside of the wood line, it looks like. Yeah, he's just got it on an attack move path towards that wolf. And if we have a look down on the south side, more units rallying out, including that javelin thrower. So Donzo, javelin thrower. So what direction does Salami go for? I guess he probably just thinks about... See, the thing is, right, like, I'm thinking Musafari, right? It kind of works against both. But then, there's not a whole lot of armored units that you make as the Malians. It's only the Sofa. And the Sofa, I guess it's good. Yeah, I don't know what I don't even know what units you make in a Malian mirror. Could you just get away with full javelin thrower? I guess, probably. Let's see exactly what it goes into, because the age up comes through. 8 minutes on the age up, so very nice timing there for him. No units in queue just yet, but he does have 400. Yeah, it's going to be the javelin throwers. And indeed, javelin throwers coming out straight away. Into 5 javelin throwers immediately. Now remember, there are units behind his base at the moment. Up towards the north side. Just doing a little bit of a patrol around there. Double broadaxe now coming through for Salami. We see specialized pick as well. So picking up all of those upgrades, and the archery range are going to get dropped down here. He's definitely optimistic about his production. A lot of villagers on gold. 19 villagers on gold. Stacking up 320 at the moment. You can see the next units are in queue. It's going to be the Donzo. So both players opting towards that Donzo javelin thrower composition, which we do most commonly see out of the feudal age. And now Salami might have a villager going down almost. A lot of damage coming through from that javelin thrower, isn't it? Might have to move on to the backside. Fortunately, no units up there just yet. Where are those javelin throwers from Salami? He's going down to the other side of the map. What's he doing down here? He's just heading down to camp. Instead of dealing with his enemy at home, he's like, you know what? I'm not even fussed. I'm not even bothered. I can deal with you later. And look at the aggression coming out from him. But by the same token, from the Mister on the south side of the map, we do see him opting for a castle age as well. So Farimba garrison probably going to be coming through from him. I like the play from the Mister, but I feel like had he gone for a bit more aggression on the timings of his production, it would have paid off quite a bit more. The main thing to remember, though, is that the Saharan Trade Network protects the gold, and the food is safe underneath the town center. And you're always going to be able to have food safe underneath the town center because of the fact that you've got cows. So you've got this infinite food that's always going to be safe, and you've got essentially 4,000 gold that's quite safe. And we take a look at the gold, still halfway, actually. Does that not update? It doesn't update when I'm selecting the pit mine. That's interesting. You can see right there, it's just kind of chilling out. So now he's going to look to put aggression on this position. Now remember, if Mister had gone out towards this angle, then Salami's out here putting on aggression, and it's further away from Mister's base. So always something to consider. Makes it a little bit harder for him to flank. And nice little attempt up towards the north. Still no worker kills. We can see 0 and 0 at the moment. But it's going to be the Grand Fulani Corral coming through for the Mister. Definitely a landmark that I feel like probably not the strongest at the moment. Takes a lot of work to get going, especially against a landmark like the Farimba Garrison. Farimba Garrison is like your Burgrave Palace. So you can think of Salami right now as not necessarily, but kind of going all in. He's still got pretty decent economy behind this. We can see he's picking up relics. We can see that he's got double pit mine. Might even be working towards that third pit mine as well. It looks like the Donzos will clean up the enemy Donzos for Salami in the north. Still yet to pick up those upgrades. We can see he's got the hardened veterancy now coming through. Still continuing to siege down these houses in the south. Mister going to have to start thinking about adding in additional houses. We can see he's already got houses next to the wood line. You never really want to be doing that as the Malians. Always feels bad to be adding houses on the wood line. Ideally, you want to keep them on the pit mine. A couple of Musafadi out in the middle. Definitely feels like Mister might be finding his feet in this matchup. Keep in mind, Salami, he's played this matchup 1,000 times. Not really. Civ hasn't been out that long, but in his head, he's played it 1,000 times. Actually, if there's anyone who's played a matchup 1,000 times in their head, it's probably the Mister. So I'm curious to see where he goes with those Musafadi, but we can see he's massing them up. I guess my thinking is right. Musafadi get countered by archers, and you're not going to be making archers in this matchup because of how strong javelin throwers are. So I feel like Musafadi should be safe. The main issue that he's going to have is just lack of production. And we can see at the moment, even with 2 and 2, 2 barracks, 2 archery range, he's not going to be able to keep up with a landmark like the Farimba Garrison. He's pumping out units non-stop, and cows actually getting taken out. Look at that, a cow going down on top of the pasture. Taken out. Look at the sniper right now. He's sniping out cows. Watch out. Look at that. He's sniping out cows. The cow sniper is here. Watch. We introduce him as the Wallalol god. It's not going to be that much for longer. It's going to be the cow sniper. Now, I think when you click on these cows, it doesn't actually say that you're a monster for killing them. Had you clicked on a sheep, it would have told you that you are. But a cow, it's not going to be the case. You see right there a sheep carcass. Fortunately, that sheep is deceased. But if we see, are there any sheep that are alive out here? I look to the corners of the map because the most likely place these players haven't gone yet are those corners. But I suspect it's not going to be the case. And Musafadi working their magic on the back line, doing a decent job of just cutting through all of that armor. There's no melee armor on these javelin throwers, so they're just able to really do quite well. But at the same time, the Donzos, they've got the melee armor. You can see the Musafadi doing a decent job of cleaning it up, but look at this pressure on the north side of the base. At the south side, pressure as well. He's looking for a way through, and he finds it. Villagers on the wood line might be going down here. Worker kills at the moment. 6 in favor of Salami, and that's going to continue to rise as he hits towards that number of 8 now. And more Musafadi coming out. Look at the village. Mister, unfortunately, a little bit sloppy right there on the gold mine. Definitely starting to feel the pain. Starting to feel the wrath of Salami. Behind this, Salami. Not yet focused on a second town center. Not yet focused on trade, but indeed focused on a second mosque. He's going to be looking to pick up his 4th and 5th relics shortly. See them both of these relics on the enemy side of the map. And now looking to regroup with his units towards this northern pit mine. The village had just finished. The consequence of going for that pit mine first is that you've just put all of your expenses out on the line. Musafadi coming in. Look at it. He aggro's the boar. Salami says, all right, you want to fight? Let's do it. The boar gets involved. Watch out. I'm not going to make jokes about Marine Lord's mum. I guess I kind of did just by mentioning it. So, sorry in advance. But look at the boar. Boar actually going to pick up a kill right here. Look at the boar go. That's 1 for the boar. 2 for the boar. Go, boar. Go. Get it. Oh, the huntable boar is not so huntable, but instead is doing the hunting today. Oh, Mister finding out the hard way that boars don't play nicely. Villager going to get picked up. Javelin throwers continue to fire off. A little bit of a raid up towards the north. Not sure if we had stealth in there, but it's not going to matter. Hits him at point-blank range. And looks like he's picked up just a couple of villager kills here. We see one on the wood line, one on the lumber camp. And then the town center's going to handle the rest. Still yet to see any blacksmith upgrades coming through for the Mister in the south side. Compare that to Salami, who's currently on +2 ranged armor, +1 ranged attack. He's having a lovely game here. Let's check in over on the east side. An outpost comes up, a toll outpost, just providing a little bit of line of sight for him. But so far, the opening for Salami looking very solid. He maintains a healthy lead. 4th relic coming in for him. 5th relic still nice and safe on that south side of the map. Unlikely to see him pick it up, but it may happen. It may happen. Now the numbers for the Mist are starting to really increase quite a lot. It all comes down to that lack of production. When you play with the Farimba Garrison, it makes it so easy to get those extra units out. And look at the Musafati coming through, all in stealth right now. They're all in stealth, and they reveal themselves as they get in on top of the enemy. Once again, Salami, the stealth master, going to be stealthed upon by the Mister. He runs in, looks to try and take out a couple shots, but we can see the Musafati trading out pretty well in this position, and it looks like it's going to be a cleanup. A solid little cleanup here. But is that Musafati now coming out? Does this just devolve into a battle of Musafati v Musafati? And then the archers come out, so it's Musafati Javelin? I could see that. Yeah, look, Musafati! It's the Musafati Wars of 2022. Both players now going heavy Musafati. Interestingly, no upgrades for either of these units, with the exception of the ranged upgrade, and now stealth coming in, and boom. Watch out from the top rope. 5th relic getting picked up. Might need to pull off a walla lol here. Musafati coming in. These guys don't have their stealth activated. He's just going to let him go. He just lets him go empty-handed. But now I think he's realized Mister going to chase it down. He heads into the stealth forest. He might actually, yeah, he might line of sight him. He's going to line of sight him. But he realizes, he picks it up. Where did he go? He's a magician. He's just walking home. the pro move would have been to move this way and then down and then around and then loop back through the base. And speaking of looping through the base, oh my lord, Musafati everywhere right now in Mister's base. Watch out, there's cows down here. Somebody think of the cows. Not the cows, you monster, please. He takes down the cow ranch, rather. Up towards the north side, we see more raids coming in. Mister trying to divert attention. More raids everywhere right now. But Salami just looking to one-up his enemy. A little bit of a population increase, improvement, slight advantage to Salami right now. And now those Musafati numbers continue to grow. Salami looking to overwhelm his enemy. Needs archers, needs something to deal with all of this. Archers are going to be the counter. These guys are like spearmen. Light melee infantry. And it looks like a little bit of a hold going to come through. Manages to keep it alive for the moment. We can see the macro going out the window here. I think Mister probably having a tough time with dealing with all of the food coming in from the Grand Fulani Corral. But now all of the pastures, all the cattle ranches going to get focused down. And Salami going to be looking to take out those cows. Look at the cow murderer. You never would have expected it to go this way, but he's taken out so many cows. And there goes another one. Sniping out all of the cows here. Salami just being, oh, you know what? It makes you feel bad to be a cow enjoyer this game. Another cow coming out. Don't do it to him. Not on his birthday. Not like this. Of all days. Not now, Salami. Second cow comes out. He can't ignore it. He can't keep ignoring it, and he doesn't. Cow does go down. Second one is out. If there's one thing you do with your last dying wish, Salami, it's kill a cow. Look, he's killed so many cows this game. We've got a serial cow killer on the loose. Somebody stop him. Somebody stop him. The only way... So let's just explain why this is so important to kill cows. So not only do cows cost a lot of gold, okay, but cows have also got a lot of food in them, which means that if Mister wants to put down cattle ranches within the range of the Grand Fulani Corral, which he does because it boosts them up by 20 food a minute, you don't want to be putting them down here, you don't want to be putting them out over there, you want to be putting them within this circle, and he can't. Why can't he? Because there's carcasses of cows that have been murdered by the serial killer Salami, and he's turned them all into a delicious roast beef. Well, at least not yet, but you guys get the point. Essentially, Mister is going to need to gather all of these cows before he can put down cattle ranches, so it slows his landmark down even further. If anything, I'd be advocating, you know what, devs, like, we need to increase the health on these cattle ranches. It's kind of wild. Like, they just get one shot by all of these units. Makes it very hard to get value from this landmark. And you see Mr. now dropping down the mill on that south side, realizing how important it is for him to pick that up. Musafati continue coming out, but look at the stream of units. And indeed, we start to see some archers coming out now for Salami. So it's the first archers of the game that we see mixed in here. He's doing a decent job of kiting it down, but you'll expect that the response is javelin throwers from the Mr., and indeed it will be. Bit of a counterattack coming through. You can see the high-level play here. He's not just defending, but he's going on the offensive as well. So that multitasking really coming in handy. The numbers looking really solid for Salami. Up about 10 military pop, 15 military pop. He must have just got another batch out. Look at the units streaming across the map here. No invisibility just yet. Is it called invisibility or stealth? It's called stealth, isn't it? Yeah, stealth. It's not a technology, but rather a tactic. Sacred Site starting to get picked up here for Salami. He's got a pretty good spawn the way that they work towards his base. He can focus all of his troops out over on this west side and the east side. Gonna be nice and safe. Definitely seems like the advantage at the moment with him. Keep in mind that the Farimba garrison actually reduces the cost of your units as well, as the raid does come in. It looks to pick up some worker kills here. Continues to rise. Not going to pick up that 15th one. Units out the front. Salami looking to pick them up, but remember that the Farimba garrison does continue to scale throughout the game. The more units you make, it reduces the price. If we take a look right now at your javelin thrower, it costs 120. But here we see the javelin thrower only costs 480 and you get 5 of them. So you're getting 1 for free and you only have to pay gold for them. So it makes it very easy to macro. It's a wonderful landmark. A lot faster pace than the Grand Fulani Corral, and we can see it really coming out today as Salami begins to eclipse his enemy with regard to military pop. Take a look at that. 31 up against 61. He's trying to work his magic over on the east side. It gets taken out by the Springled emplacement. And now Salami begins pushing upon, once again, the Grand Fulani Corral. Many a time this game, we've seen the Grand Fulani Corral suffer. But it looks like it might be another time. The javelin throwers trying to take out the archers, but the archers dishing out their poison arrow damages. We bring in the cinematic mode as Mr. tries to hold on for dear life. Get him, boy. Musafati on the front line. Archie's on the back. Javelins over the top, and everything going whack right now. Villagers continuing to gather those cows that have been killed before. Of course, there are a few more cows out, but it's not going to matter because the archers are just too damn strong. Look at the damage that comes in. Hitting those javelin throwers, cleaning them up completely. And now there's just nowhere for the units to come out. He's camping on top of the production. And no, now begins to focus down the cattle ranches once again. And you can see the beautiful timing that Salami's managed to find here. By hitting this timing with the Farimba garrison, he forces Mr. into a position where he cannot use his Grand Fulani Corral. He's got to scramble to try and pick up the cows. And now all of the pastures, or all the cattle ranches, go down. It's going to expose the cows, and you can see Mr. realizing and saying, we got to get these cows out of here. Evacuate the cows quickly. But the cows begin to go down, and good game gets called. Salami, the cow sniper, is alive, well, and victorious. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. Go check out Salami. I'll leave a link in the description. Salami, it's impressive what you've got right there, mate. That is some good stuff. Keep it up, fella. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.